Hey, it's John and Mike, brew-dudes.com, and I don't know if you can see the whiteboard behind us, but it says something different.
Something different.
At least this is what Tap 2 has for us, something different. So I have no idea what this beer is. It was probably in the kegs last time we did the old video thing last week. Finally got it carved up. I know that you got a new CO2 tank, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
So this is something different. I will at least look at it and not taste it. The aroma is certainly malt forward. Like a little note of caramel there, and the clarity, I don't know if you can pick that up in the camera, but just I mean, it's pretty clear, very clear.
Beautifully clear.
A little, I mean, I don't know.
There's a little bit of haze.
A little bit, a touch of haze, but
you'd be proud of this.
Clear. Yes, I would be. I am very proud of this. So, I'm going to sip this, and you're going to talk a little bit more.
I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to give a little story.
Beer.
So this is my beer. This is my beer, actually. So sometimes we brew the same things a lot.
Yep.
Or we stay within a certain genre, a certain wheelhouse. With this beer, I decided to just do something that isn't necessarily in my wheelhouse. I don't believe that this is in your wheelhouse.
Probably not.
So I just wanted to do something totally different, just to mix it up, keep things interesting. I didn't even really take exhaustive notes on this beer. I put the basic recipe together, and then I brewed the beer. It was a really enjoyable brew session.
Yeah.
So this beer is a...
well, I mean, it's kind of just like, it's almost like it's not, it doesn't have like a huge English quality, but it's very malty. Just a tad, like just a little bit of hops to make it be beer. Like,
and what about the yeast quality? Fermentation character.
The fermentation character to me is clean. I mean, it doesn't have any kind of funk. Body is medium to medium full. I really don't. I mean, this would be like a, you know, without a real like strong hop presence. It's kind of like a typical, you know, amber ale.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got some English quality just because of the malt background, but I couldn't say. I mean, it's got a clean, neutral yeast taste, and so I would put this into an American ale category. But
okay.
But all right,
before you dig yourself in too deep,
yeah.
There's a few cues around the place here tonight. This is Belgian Pale Ale.
Is it a Belgian Pale Ale?
Yeah.
Huh.
Now, to be fair to yourself, Belgian Pale Ale is unlike most other Belgian beers that you have, where the yeast character actually isn't like super funky. It's not supposed to be super strong. Think of like Leffe, that type of beer.
Yeah.
The BJCP describes Belgian Pale Ale as having mild fruit esters in the fermentation profile, but leaning towards like maybe like pear.
Yeah.
And then a light spiciness.
Yeah.
But not really more of a funkiness like an Abbey Ale would be or something. So I basically followed exactly
what Jamil says.
Jamil's recipe from Brewing Classic Styles. And the basic gist of this, I modified a little bit. My beer was, his recipe comes in at 1052 starting gravity, mine was 1055. I fermented down to 1010, so, and his goes from 52 down to 1012. So mine's a little bit higher in alcohol than it should be, but I got a great fermentation. I did use the White Labs 515 Antwerp Ale yeast, which is, again, way out of my wheelhouse because I've never even used that yeast.
Yeah.
I wasn't even sure if I'd find it when I went to the store, but sure enough they had it, so enough people must be brewing this style of that yeast. So it's basically Pilsner malt. This is Belgian Dingemans Pilsner malt, which smelled absolutely awesome, actually. Yeah. The best Pilsner malt aroma I've ever had in a mash. And then I used 3/4 pound of Cara Munich, and Jamil says a 1/4 pound of biscuit, but I went with a full pound of biscuit because I had it and I wanted to use it up. So that's why there's a good malt character here, and I like that. I mean, I think it really gives a solid malty backbone to this beer. Yeah. And Jamil uses Saaz hops, but I didn't really like the alpha acids of the ones at the store. I think they're like 2.5%.
Oh yeah,
I just didn't know what. I used Perle, which again, way out of my wheelhouse.
Huh.
I just wanted to try those hops in here, so I did a 60-minute charge of 1 ounce, and then like a 20-minute charge of 1 ounce of Perle.
Perle, I think, isn't it like
Or
piney?
Pearl, yeah.
Yeah, Pearl of it. Piney,
but it's derived from that noble. It's one of those noble derivatives. So.
Well, it's funny because I think that biscuit malt background is there, and it's like I think I was perceiving some of the sweetness, the malt sweetness.
Yes.
It's really
I think it's some of the ester quality.
yes, that came from the yeast. Now, this does not taste. I mean, clearly, I didn't think it tasted like a Belgian ale at all. This is very clean. For if you were like, "Hey, here's a Belgian," people are gonna be like, "No, I don't want that. I don't like Belgian ales." But if you were to give this to someone, they were like, "Wow, this is kind of a malty, sweetish, some spice. I get like that pear taste.
Yep.
It's there." And I think that if you were to give someone who was a Belgian hater, like, well, try this.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? Without too much description, they were like, this is very drinkable.
So when I was looking to do something different, I kind of was breezing through the BJCP just for an idea of where I should stop and brew something.
Try.
And I was like, Belgian Pale Ale. And I just read it, and the descriptors being slightly more restrained than traditional Abbey or Trappist beers, I thought, here's something different to do, and I think it came out exactly what I wanted it to be, which was a fun and effective brew session, and then just a slightly different flavor profile, just something different to drink.
It's that yeast strain. I mean, again, like you said, this is not in your wheelhouse, nor mine. So I have had no experience with that yeast strain before. I had never brewed with it either.
Yep.
I'm glad that they had it at the store.
Yeah.
I'm glad you.
So
were
I
able to find it.
saved I saved quite a large pitch from the fermenter in this, and I'm going to repitch that into something also different.
I was gonna say
coming up.
Awesome.
So the last word I'll say in this too is because I was just trying to enjoy a brew day with no real pressure of brewing something special for the site or brewing
for a party.
one of my for a party or some recipe that I'm trying to develop. I just said, first time, let's just brew it, let's just enjoy it.
No stress.
The other thing too is there was no stress, but also I wasn't trying to really push it to get on and get it right. So I think to some extent the clarity. What I ended up doing was, when I finally got it in a keg, it sat in the fridge for a week before I even started carbonating it.
Right.
Because usually what I do is I get it in there, I put the carbonation on it, I try to start carbonating it so we can drink it fairly quickly. And so stuff isn't settling out yet.
Yeah.
And I wonder if carbonation and settling of the yeast and whatever else is in there, it's just sort of at odds with each other, I think. Especially if you're trying to like pour a draft and you probably get a little nucleation inside the keg. So
Well, it's funny. BYO, the most recent issue, has a whole article on French rustic ales, and a big step in making those is to do a cold conditioning step, like after the primary is done.
Yep.
So cold condition, and it if you think of like the Belgian saisons, that step starts to mute some of the flavors, and so all that sort of bubblegummy, clovey, spicy flavors settle down, smooth out a bit.
I've been sampling this. I've been sampling this for about a week and a half, and
behind my back. Oh my goodness!
Some of that yeast quality some of that yeast flavor has settled out with it, and this is what you're left with. I think this is really
I would bottle this up.
Elegant.
Please put this into competition because I don't know too much about it, and it's a great beer. It is a great beer. We'll see what someone who may know the style a lot better than us has to say. But
I'm an expert now. I mean, it's good.
But at least put it in and see what happens. Because I think this is great.
Yeah,
it's really great.
Super.
Good job. Stress-free brew day.
Stress-free brewing.
And look what happened. You made like perfection in a glass.
Yeah, sometimes you've got it going on.
Sometimes lightning strikes.
Now we need to just apply this philosophy to the Galaxy Pale Ale and we'll be on fire.
There you go. That's a lot harder to do, I guess.
Coming up. But I still have a huge-ass bag of Pilsner malt back there. So my next 4 beers are all going to be Pilsner based. So
there you go.
I've got plans.
Something different. Part deux.
Part deux.
That's what they say in Belgium, right?
Yes.
No, they don't say that. Anyway, we say this here for John and Mike, brew-dudes.com. Brew on.
Cheers.
Stress-free, man.